Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. Lots to talk about. The theme of our show today is success. I like that you are successful people. You are successful in life. You are successful in love. Raising kids doesn't mean you've done it all great, but you know how to seek it out. You seek it out like a heat-seeking missile, and you end up being successful. You want to know why? Because you have a positive outlook on life. That's what conservatism is all about. It says, you know what? If I get dumped in a thing of horse poop, I'm going to wake up out of there looking for a pony, because that's what you think. There's no such thing as negative for you. You are always looking for the sunny side of life. And I love you for that. America loves you for that, because we have the other side of it. The side of it that wants you to be pessimistic. They want you to be apocalyptic about everything that's happening in the world today. The Democrats cry Armageddon on the tax bill, but they've done it before. Here's a short little montage of them. The first guy talks about what if President Trump, Donald Trump makes it to the presidency, and most of the other is them lamenting it after the fact. So listen to some of these and we'll discuss it.
If Trump wins, how about bursting into tears and screaming for the next 45 minutes?
Well, America is crying tonight. I'm not sure how much of America, but a very, very significant portion. And I mean literally crying.
Everybody is crying and so upset. And it is the end of their world.
Feels like the end of the world.
We were on Lifetime last night. And I was slowly getting drunk is what happened to me.
How do we explain how this is possible?
How did this happen? Experienced politician versus racist fake gynecologist.
Get your abortions now, because we're going to be and we're going to have to live with it.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country.
This is a different Earth today than it was 24 hours ago. It's a different place. Because it just is different.
The woman who President Obama called the most qualified person ever to run for the White House couldn't break through. The question remains, who can?
Deeper concerns tonight that the world's shining light of democracy has gone dark.
Decency lost last night, and that's what's so hurtful about this.
This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president in part. And that's the part where the pain comes.
I kind of push back against the advancement of African Americans, of Hispanics, of women, of Muslim Americans.
It is a mourning moment for those people, and it is a moment filled with fear.
Because I'm on this network and people know my attitudes about things. They come up to me and they're scared, depressed, despair, desperate even. Almost clinging to me.
It was a rough night for everybody, I think. We're worried. The people are worried. Okay, he's the president. Now what?
It feels like we're trying to avoid the apocalypse and half of the country is voting for the asteroid.
Is there a doomsday plan for a time like this? Am I right to ask about a doomsday plan? Do you see this as a doomsday scenario?
So if Donald Trump is democratically elected and your son is serving as a Marine, you wouldn't trust his life under that commander-in-chief? And Kane said, I wouldn't. That's a pretty extraordinary thing to say. If you have a son in the Marine Corps and that you don't trust the commander-in-chief. The people in the military defend the Constitution.
I can't put a happy face on that. And that's my job.
This is the first time throughout this entire race where I'm officially shitting my pants. I genuinely do not understand how America can be this disorganized or this hateful.
How do you govern when your whole campaign was built on the hatred of somebody else?
From slavery to, Nazism, we have faced challenges before to who we are as a people.
Plus the Supreme Court, who knows where that's going to go. So the only checks and balances we have are us, the View.
Welcome back, everybody. Wow, where do you start, right? Crying. They're going to be crying. End of the world. It's the end of the world. One of the girls, get your abortions now because we're all going to be booped. You're awake. That's Rachel Maddow. You're awake. Oh my gosh. It's not a bad dream. And then Chris Matthews, it's a different earth today. A different earth. Donald Trump winning election in the presidency makes it a different earth. Like Earth looked up and went, oh crap, now I got to adjust my jet stream. I got to adjust the tides. What am I going to do? Do I need to slow down the spinning of the core? What? It's a different earth. And then I love this one. This was Martha Raddatz. She says, how does the most qualified, somebody that Barack Obama calls the most qualified person ever, if she can't break through, who can? I mean, think about this. With all we know about Hillary Clinton, this woman of course, this was early on, but she's like, oh, well, she was qualified. Why didn't we elect her? Because she was a crook. She's a crook. That's why we didn't elect her. And the more you're learning about that crook, the more you understand why Donald Trump was elected. But I'm looking at all these people. It's doomsday. It's going to end. Could it possibly be? And then they go, well, we want to pass this tax bill. We don't want this tax bill to pass when everything's looking good in the economy. We covered that earlier in the broadcast. I'm not going to redo it, but these people are crazy. They're funny. Wow. Before I come back to that, I want to give a tweet. What did this guy say? Said, Democrats screaming about passing a 500-page tax bill at 1 a.m. forgot about the 20,000-page healthcare scam passed in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve, or how they dragged Senator Byrd in on a stretcher through a snowstorm to vote. Do you guys even remember that? That's how they passed Obamacare. They brought a dying man in on a stretcher to vote. I'm just saying. Wow. And they got some nerve. They wrote a 500-page bill at 1 a.m. and they're not even letting anybody see it. That's what Nancy Pelosi said. We can't even see it. Really? So it kind of reminds me of Obamacare, right? And then the next thing they tell you, well, in that plan, it's going to affect some people negatively. There's some negativity going on here. Well, geez. So it has to affect everybody positively, like Obamacare? If you like your plan, you can keep your plan, period. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, period. I said on Fox the other day, I said, if you like your tax plan, you can keep your tax plan, period. If you like your accountant, you can keep your accountant, period. That one you can. I'm just saying, they don't even think about this stuff. Armageddon. His Armageddon happened. They told us if Donald Trump got elected, our economy was going to go to crap. And our economy is looking pretty doggone good, if you ask me. Pretty good. But what else did they say? Oh, the entire world, America has gone dark. One guy in that clip goes, with the election of Donald Trump, decency is gone. Because, Bill Clinton, he was really decent, wasn't he? And now we've learned that George Bush Sr., H.W., he's a butt grabber. He was decent, wasn't he? George Bush Jr. was an alcoholic and snorted cocaine. Well, he was good. Donald Trump doesn't even drink or snort coke. But the idea that he was a billionaire playboy at one time, and that tests their sensibilities. Van Jones comes on. The election of Donald Trump was a white lash. It was a white lash. White people, whatever. And then somebody else, I think it was Chris Matthews, comes on. He says, people are scared, depressed, the despair. They were clinging to me. Clinging to Chris Matthews. Oh, man. And then Colbert comes in and says, how do we avoid the apocalypse? It's like you're voting on the comet, I think is what he said, right? You're voting on the comet. Hey, I tell you what, Colbert, how's that comet looking for you right now? Oh, man. Who else? Rachel Maddow. Doomsday plan. Hey, Dave, should we be talking about a doomsday plan? I mean, is this like really a doomsday scenario? Think about how you felt in 2012. It was one thing to get Obama elected in 2008. That was a foregone conclusion. But after 4 years of watching this guy perform, and we can't beat him in 2012, which for the record, I'm glad Comey didn't. Not Comey. What's his name? You know, that Mormon white guy, whatever his name is. I'm glad he didn't win. Mitt Romney. Thank you. I'm glad Romney didn't win. And what about would you want Trump to be your commander-in-chief as opposed to Barack Obama? The guy who went to get Bergdahl but wouldn't go get a Marine out from Mexico? And then, what's his face? Trevor Noah. You know, how can America be disorganized, this hateful? Shut up, South Africa. And then, of course, you always got to get that slavery Nazism thing worked in there.
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.